The smell of fresh croissants floated through the mansion, but Dara didn't care. She lay across her enormous bed, silk sheets tangled around her feet, scrolling endlessly on her newest iPhone. The screen's brightness reflected off her face, but her eyes were cold, bored. Outside her wide windows, birds chirped gently in the morning breeze, but inside, the air was stiff with quiet tension. Welcome to Afro Tales TV, your home for rich, exciting, and inspiring stories from around the world. Today's story will touch your heart and keep you hooked till the very end. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any of our amazing stories. 17-year-old Dara lived like a queen. Her parents, Benson and Flora, made sure of that. She had everything a teenage girl could ever dream of. A closet full of designer shoes and branded clothes, shelves stacked with untouched jewelry boxes, 4 iPhones in different colors, and a personal bathroom filled with imported creams and body sprays. In their gated estate, the family's mansion stood like a small palace. Everything inside screamed wealth: gleaming marble floors, velvet curtains, glass chandeliers, and staff always moving about, ready to serve. And at the center of it all was Dara. She was beautiful, light-skinned, tall, and always looking effortlessly rich. Her braids were done by the most expensive stylists, her nails never chipped, her lashes always perfect. But her beauty didn't match her heart. Dara was loud, rude, and completely out of control. Downstairs, a young maid named Rose was arranging flowers in the hallway when Dara came stomping down the staircase. "Who told you to change these flowers?" Dara asked sharply. Rose stuttered. I thought they were going bad, so I—" "Are you mad?" Dara snapped. "Did I ask for your opinion?" "No, Ma," Rose whispered, lowering her head. With one sudden movement, Dara slapped the vase out of the girl's hand. It shattered loudly, spilling water and petals everywhere. Rose gasped. "Clean it up, and be fast before I lose my temper," Dara hissed, then walked away like nothing happened. That was just a normal day in Dara's life. She had no respect for anyone below her. Drivers, maids, cooks, guards, none of them were safe from her wrath. A few weeks earlier, she had screamed at the family's cook, Mama Titi, because her eggs were not fluffy enough. When Mama Titi tried to explain that she had used the same recipe as always, Dara picked up the plate and threw it to the floor. "You think you know more than me?" she shouted. "Are you the one that taught me how to eat?" Mama Titi was in tears that day. But instead of scolding Dara, Flora, her mother, fired the poor woman immediately. "My daughter doesn't need stress," Flora said calmly. "She deserves peace." Everyone in the house lived in quiet fear. The workers tiptoed through rooms, whispered in corners, and avoided Dara like a ticking time bomb. But Dara loved it. She felt powerful. Even the security guard, Musa, wasn't spared. One evening, rain was pouring heavily. Musa had rushed from the back gate to the front, struggling with a leaking umbrella, trying to open the main gate as fast as he could. Dara was in the back seat of her sleek car, makeup flawless, headphones in. But the moment she saw Musa running to open the gate, she flung the door open and marched out. "What the hell is wrong with you?" she shouted. Musa, confused and soaked, stuttered. "Ma, the back gate was jammed. I came as quick as—" Before he could finish, Dara raised her hand and slapped him across the face. "You're useless, useless old man. You want me to sit outside in the rain like a fool?" Musa's jaw trembled, his eyes filled with tears. He bowed his head and mumbled, "I'm sorry, Ma." The next morning, he was gone, fired, like all the others before him. And through it all, her parents said nothing. Flora was always on Dara's side, no matter what she did. "She's only expressing herself," Flora would say, laughing. "She's just a bit dramatic." Benson, her father, was quieter. He watched from the shadows, concern deepening in his heart each day. He didn't know how to talk to Dara anymore. Every time he tried, she shut him out. And Flora, always protective, would wave off his concerns. "She's fine," Flora would say. "She's our only child. Let her enjoy her life." And enjoy she did. Dara lived like royalty. She didn't know how to wash a plate or boil water. She didn't know where the broom was kept. She didn't care. Every weekend, she went shopping. Online or in person, it didn't matter. She always came back with bags: Gucci, Prada, Chanel. When her father got her the latest iPhone just 2 months after buying her the previous one, she didn't even say thank you. She just rolled her eyes and said, "This one better not freeze like the last one." She had her own car, a sleek black ride that made her schoolmates jealous. She wore expensive perfumes to class, flaunted her lifestyle on social media, and walked with her chin high. But behind all that glitter, her education was falling apart. At school, Dara was a terror. She rarely paid attention in class. Her notebooks were always empty. During lessons, she texted or took selfies. If a teacher corrected her, she insulted them. One day in chemistry class, she was chewing gum loudly and scrolling through TikTok while the teacher explained equations. "Dara," the teacher said, "please put your phone away." Dara looked up slowly. "Are you talking to me?" "Yes. This is not a market. You're distracting the class." Dara stood up, her voice loud. "You must be mad. You think I came to this school to listen to you talk nonsense? My parents pay your salary. Don't forget that." The whole class went silent. The teacher sighed. "You're only embarrassing yourself." "I don't care," Dara said, and walked out of class. That evening, she got a warning letter. Weeks passed, and the situation got worse. Dara insulted a math teacher and threw her textbook at him when he asked her to solve a simple problem. She told him he was too local to teach her. The school had no choice. The principal invited her parents for a serious meeting. Benson arrived quietly, dressed in a simple shirt. Flora walked in like a queen, high heels clicking, her designer purse swinging from her wrist. "Good afternoon," the principal said. "Thank you for coming." "Let's make this quick," Flora said. "I'm busy." The principal didn't smile. He placed Dara's results and report in front of them. "Your daughter failed 4 subjects. She has insulted 3 teachers in the past month and walks out of class at will. We've warned her before. This is her final chance." Flora scoffed. "Maybe the teachers just don't like her. They're professionals," the principal said calmly. "Dara's behavior is unacceptable. If she insults another staff member or fails her next exams, she will be expelled." Benson said nothing. He stared at the paper, his face pale. Flora smiled. "We'll talk to her. She's just passionate." The principal looked tired. "It's not passion, it's pride, and it's dangerous." That night at home, Benson sat alone in the living room, staring at the report. Flora was upstairs, already asleep. His heart ached. His daughter was spiraling, and they had allowed it. He climbed the stairs slowly and knocked on Dara's door. "What?" she said from inside. "Can I come in?" he asked. She didn't answer, so he entered. Dara was lying in bed, scrolling through her phone, air conditioner humming quietly. She didn't look at him. He sat at the edge of her bed. "Dara," he said softly, "I saw your results." She didn't stop scrolling. "I'm worried about you." "I'm fine," she said flatly. "You're failing." "So?" she replied. "School is useless anyway." "School is your future," he said. "Your mother and I worked hard to give you everything." "I didn't ask for it," she muttered. Benson looked at her, really looked. This wasn't just pride, it was pain, emptiness. "I want to help you," he said, "but you have to want to change." "I don't need help," she whispered. "Yes, you do." She turned away, pulling her blanket over her shoulders. He stood, silent for a moment. "The school has given you one last chance," he said. "If you fail again, you're out, and there won't be another school waiting for you." As he left, Dara stayed quiet. Her heart beat a little faster. She didn't want to admit it, but for the first time, she was scared. And that fear was only the beginning. It had been 3 days since the meeting at Dara's school, but Benson couldn't stop thinking about the principal's words. This is her final chance. The line played over and over in his head like a warning bell. He sat on the balcony late into the night, staring at the garden lights flickering below, wondering where it all went wrong. Inside the house, everything looked perfect. But perfection was only on the surface. Flora walked into the bedroom with a towel wrapped around her head, scrolling through her tablet. "You're still awake?" she asked. Benson looked up. "I can't sleep." Flora sat beside him. "You're still bothered about Dara?" "She's our only child, Flora," he said softly. "We've spoiled her." Flora scoffed. "We gave her the best of everything." "Yes," he said, "but we didn't give her structure, discipline, values. She doesn't respect anyone, not even us." Flora rolled her eyes. "She's just going through a phase. You're worrying too much."
"No," Benson said firmly. "This is beyond a phase. She's failing. She's arrogant. If we don't do something now, we'll lose her." Flora paused for a moment, then turned away. "So, what do you want to do? Beat her? Send her to boarding school?" Benson sighed. "We need to help her, gently but firmly." The next morning, they called Dara into the living room. She strolled in wearing her pajamas, her phone in hand, sipping a smoothie. "Sit," Benson said. Dara dropped onto the couch dramatically. "What now?" Benson looked at her. "We're worried about you." Dara rolled her eyes. "Oh God, this again?" "You're failing in school," Flora said. "I don't care," Dara replied. "You will care when they expel you," Benson snapped. "Because if you leave that school, no one else will take you. Your name is everywhere." Dara shrugged. "I can always learn online or something." Benson frowned. "It's not about school. It's about how you treat people. Your teachers, the maids, everyone."
"They're all beneath me," Dara said without blinking. Flora gasped a little. "Dara, don't talk like that." "Well, it's true," she said. "They're always looking at me like they hate me. Why should I respect them?" Benson leaned forward, his voice low and serious. "You will respect people, Dara, because the world doesn't care about your money. One day, it'll treat you the way you treat others." Dara laughed. "Whatever." Flora placed a hand on Dara's leg. "Baby, listen to Daddy, okay? We love you. We just want you to do better." "Then stop stressing me," Dara replied. "I didn't ask to be perfect." "No one said you have to be perfect," Benson said. "But you have to be decent." There was silence for a while. Then Benson continued, "So we've made a decision." Dara glanced up. "What decision?" "We're hiring a home teacher to help you prepare for your exams." Dara nearly dropped her cup. "What? No way!" Benson nodded. "Yes way, it's happening." "I don't need some boring stranger in my space," she shouted. "You're trying to control me." Flora tried to calm her. "It's just for a short time, just until you're ready for your exams." Dara stood up, furious. "I said no." Benson stood too. "You don't get to say no this time." "Oh, so now you want to act like a real father?" she snapped. "After all these years of letting me do whatever I want?" Benson blinked, stunned by her words, but he didn't raise his voice. "Yes, because now I see I should have done better." Dara folded her arms. "This is unfair." "No," Benson replied. "What's unfair is you slapping people, failing in school, and thinking life owes you something. This is your last chance. We're getting a teacher, and you'll cooperate." She turned to her mother. "Mom, say something." Flora hesitated. Then, slowly, she said, "Baby, please, just try. For us." Dara's face twisted in anger. "I hate this family."
She stormed off to her room, slamming the door so hard the glass frame on the wall rattled. Benson exhaled deeply. "We should have done this a long time ago." Flora sat back, staring at the closed door. "She'll get over it. She always does." But for the rest of the day, Dara didn't come out. Not for lunch, not for dinner. Her room was locked. Loud music blasted from inside. She blocked both of them on WhatsApp and ignored their knocks. Flora tried slipping her favorite snacks under the door. Benson sat at the edge of his bed thinking. Regret sat on his shoulders like a heavy coat. That night, the house was unusually quiet. The next morning, Benson knocked on Dara's door again. No answer. He opened it gently. Dara was sitting by the window, her eyes red. She looked tired. Not angry, just tired. "Can I sit?" Benson asked. She shrugged. He sat on the bed and looked at her reflection in the mirror. "You know we love you, right?" She said nothing.
"I made mistakes as your father," he said, "but I'm ready to make them right." She didn't look at him. "We're not trying to punish you. We're trying to protect you from becoming someone you'll hate in the future." Dara turned slightly. Her voice was soft. "I don't want anyone in my space." "This teacher isn't coming to invade your life," he said. "She's coming to help you fix it." There was a long pause. "Will I still have my phone?" she asked. "You'll have everything you need, but we expect effort, respect, and progress." Dara groaned. "Fine, whatever." "So, you'll cooperate?" he asked carefully. She shrugged again. "Just don't expect me to smile about it." Benson smiled a little. "That's good enough." As he stood to leave, Dara said quietly, "She better not be boring." He laughed under his breath. "We'll see." Downstairs, Flora watched as he came down, her arms folded. "She agreed?" she asked. "She did," Benson nodded. "But she's not happy about it."
"She never is when she doesn't get her way," Flora said. "Let's hope this teacher knows what she's doing." Benson exhaled again. "Because if she doesn't, we're finished."
The knock came early in the morning, just as the sun began to slip through the long velvet curtains in the living room. The housekeeper quickly adjusted her scarf and rushed to open the door. Outside stood a tall, graceful woman dressed in a crisp cream blouse and dark trousers. She didn't wear flashy jewelry or bold makeup. Her beauty was soft but striking. Her hair was pulled back neatly, and her eyes held a calm confidence. "Good morning," she said with a kind smile. "I'm Miss Anna." The housekeeper smiled awkwardly, unsure how this elegant woman would survive under the same roof as Dara. "You're welcome, Ma." Flora soon joined them, looking fresh in a floral robe. Her eyes scanned Miss Anna from head to toe, pleased by her modest presentation. "You're right on time," Flora said warmly, leading her inside. The house was as grand as promised. Polished floors, towering ceilings, the scent of lavender hanging in the air. Miss Anna looked around, quietly taking in her surroundings. "I hope you didn't have trouble finding the place," Flora said. "Not at all," Miss Anna replied, settling into the armchair. "She's still asleep," Flora said, pouring her a glass of juice. "She stays up late scrolling through her phone. We told her you were coming, but don't expect a red carpet." "I'm not here for comfort," Miss Anna said calmly. "I'm here for change." Flora smiled, though she looked unsure. "Just do your best." A few minutes later, footsteps pounded down the stairs. Dara appeared in black leggings and a silk tank top, her phone in one hand, brushing her long braids with the other. She stopped mid-step when she saw the woman sitting in the living room. "You must be the teacher," Dara said flatly, without a greeting. Flora forced a laugh. "Come and say good morning properly." Dara sighed and walked past them, dropping into the opposite couch. "Morning," Miss Anna looked at her and smiled. "Good morning, Dara. I'm Miss Anna. I'll be tutoring you for a few weeks." Dara didn't reply. She picked up a remote and increased the TV volume. Flora chuckled nervously. "She's not usually like this." "Yes, I'm sure," Miss Anna said calmly, never taking her eyes off Dara. "Well, I'll leave you both to get started. Dara, behave," Flora said before disappearing down the hallway.